All right, dear children, we move to the next topic related to adiabatic process. As you learn in case of isothermal process also, is called adiabatic curve. Now, basically, adiabatic curve is a graph plotted between pressure, and that pressure is indicated by letter P, and volume, the letter is indicated by B, of a given mass of a gas. And children, we are taking what type of gas? Ideal gas, undergoing and what? Adiabatic change. And such curve is known as adiabatic curve. Now the word curve which is mentioned out here is that because your graph which we plot between pressure and volume will not be a linear graph. It's not a straight line graph. It will be a non-linear graph, a curve graph. That's why under this process also we see the nature of graph as a curved graph. That's why this graph is also called adiabatic what? Curve. But in order to plot the graph between pressure and volume, we follow the equation that is called Poisson's equation under ideal gas. So I write down for ideal gas, and this is for what? How much mole? We are just dealing with 1 mole of ideal gas. 1 mole of what? Gas, ideal gas. Okay, but children, the gas, ideal gas can be of any number of moles. Okay, but we are dealing with 1 mole of what gas? Ideal gas. And the relation is what? Pb to the power gamma is constant. This is actually the Poisson's law, a Poisson's equation which follow adiabatic process. Okay, so Pb to power gamma is what? Constant. So in order to plot a graph between pressure and volume for a given mass of ideal gas, so we just differentiate this equation. Now again we have to follow the differentiation. So I give this as equation number 1. So we follow calculus, differentiating. So differentiating equation 1, both sides. But remember this, when you differentiate both sides, right hand side is constant, so differentiation constant is simply 0. But on the left hand side, P is a variable, B is also variable, but this B with the power is there. B is a power is there, that is gamma. So when we differentiate both sides with the product. And there is a formula, children, that just let me just write down the formula. D by dx of UB, okay, is U differentiation of B with dx plus B second variable differentiation of first variable with dx. But when you differentiate both sides, we can simply write this relation as U dB plus B du. First variable differentiation of second plus second variable differentiation of first. So we follow this one. This is actually the formula. Okay. So following this one, let me just write down P is the first variable, that is equals to U. So P differentiation of second variable means D of B to power gamma. D of what? B to power what? Gamma. Okay. Plus second variable means B to power gamma, differentiation of what? First variable, that is dP equals to 0. But second variable has a power. So in this case, there is a formula out here, also d by dx of U to the power n is simply given by n U to power n minus 1. So there is a formula, children, I am writing for calculus, and you learn in detail in mathematics also. Suppose you are differentiating U as a function with power n with dx, then this n will confront U with n minus 1. So this is the formula. Okay, but when you differentiate, okay, you differentiate with respect to du, so it will be du also. So if I write this relation now in this u term only, okay, let me just replace this. It will be n U to power n minus 1 du. So I exactly follow the same. P B to power gamma, so I write on gamma B to power gamma minus 1. Just like U to power n minus 1, gamma B to power gamma minus 1, and with variable dB. Okay, plus B to power gamma dP equals to 0. So this is the differentiation of left hand side. And as you know that the differentiation of right hand side is 0, because constant right hand side is constant, and differentiation of right hand side, any constant, is always 0. Okay, now we can further simplify this expression. Okay, now in order to simplify further this expression, I'll keep this in the left hand side, B to power gamma with dP. Now this quantity I'll take in the right hand side. It will be minus P gamma B to power gamma minus 1 dB. Okay, now from this curve, actually we measure the slope, and slope of this P and B graph is always given by dP by dB. So under this case, dP is already there in the left hand side. So this dB I'll take in the denominator of left hand side. This is dB. So dP by dB equals to minus P gamma B to power gamma minus 1 divided by this B to power gamma will go in the denominator. Now we can further simplify, children, this part. So I write down minus gamma, I write front P. Now let me simplify this. So this B to power gamma I'll take in the numerator. So B to power gamma minus 1 and B to power minus gamma. So look at this part, children. This is separate. Okay. B to power gamma, if I take in the numerator, is B to power minus gamma. Now see what happened. Minus gamma P. The same basis, power will be subtracted. Power will be added, but one power is R gamma minus 1 and another is minus gamma. So let me just add. It means it is gamma minus 1. So plus into minus minus, it will be minus gamma. So plus gamma and minus gamma cancel out. Now see, it is minus gamma P into B to power minus 1. But children, I write this relation by taking this B in the denominator. So I write minus gamma P by B to power 1. Because B to power minus 1 means equals to 1 by B to power 1. That's why this B to power 1 minus 1, if I take in the denominator, it is B to power 1. Okay. So dP by dB equals to minus gamma P by B. Minus gamma P by what? B. Now this is actually the slope. This is the slope, but this is for what process? Adiabatic process. See, similarly we calculated the slope for isothermal process also. Now in case of isothermal process, the slope was minus P by B. Now in the case of isothermal adiabatic process, dP by dB is the slope of adiabatic process is equals to minus gamma P by what? B. Minus gamma P by what? B. So children, the slope of adiabatic process, if it asks in the examination to derive or to write, it is given by dP by dB, adiabatic process, equals to minus gamma P by what? B. Okay. Now, after calculating the slope, I write the same slope. I'll compare the same slope of adiabatic process with the slope of isothermal process. As you know, the relation is what? dP by dB with isothermal process is equals to what? Minus P by B. Yes, this is also the slope. But for what process? Isothermal process. And this is the slope of adiabatic process. So with these two slopes, we can compare which slope is more than other slope. So children, you can see now the relation, that is dP by dB adiabatic process equals to minus gamma P by B. But can I write this way? Gamma into minus P by B. Gamma is the ratio between two specific capacity or 2 molar specific capacity at constant pressure and volume, and this quantity is always a positive quantity. So I write this gamma into minus P by B, and this minus P by B is nothing but dP by what? dB. This is also the slope, but for what process? Isothermal process. So you can see now the relation is dP by dB with adiabatic process is equals to gamma times dP by dB of what? Isothermal process. That means the slope of adiabatic process is gamma times. This is the slope of adiabatic process is gamma times the slope of what? Isothermal process. So slope of adiabatic process is always how many times? Gamma times the slope of isothermal process. But to know that by what amount the slope of adiabatic process is greater than isothermal process, that is determined by the value of gamma. And gamma value is not same, as I said, for different type of ideal gas. Because gas can be a monoatomic gas, it can be a diatomic gas, it can be a triatomic gas. Okay, and the value of this gamma that you see, okay, learning also in one of the video, but just to tell you that the value of gamma is always greater than 1. Always greater than 1. And the reason actually for this is Cp should always be greater than Cp. And why Cp is greater than Cp, that also you learn it. Now just taking the example, okay. Now if I take what gas? Monoatomic gas. atomic gas, single atom gas, gamma value is actually 1.67. You see, okay, the value of monoatomic gas is, for monoatomic gas, the value of gamma will be 1.67. Suppose if I take diatomic gas, say for diatomic gas, the value of gamma will be 1.41. 1.41. Okay, and it will go on and on like that. So for monoatomic gas, 1.67 is the value of gamma, and diatomic gas, the value of gamma is 1.41. Okay, that's why depending upon the value and the nature of the gases that we take, the slope of adiabatic process is that times more than the slope of isothermal process. So children, we can even plot a graph between P and B, that is called adiabatic curve for adiabatic process. Okay, let me just show you the nature of the graph. Okay, so just show you the nature of the graph. Okay, now I take P as the pressure along y-axis, and I take B as the volume along x-axis. And when you plot a graph between P and B for adiabatic process, your graph nature will almost like this only. Your graph nature will be a non-linear graph, a curve graph. But you find this slope, you find this graph is more steeper. This graph, adiabatic curve graph, will be more steeper than what? Isothermal curve. Okay, and under this case also we can calculate the slope. And to calculate the slope, I can draw a tangent to the curve. Okay, I can simply draw a tangent to the curve, and from that tangent we can calculate the what? Slope. And this slope is given by this one, this relation. This is the slope to measure the slope of adiabatic curve. Okay, but just tell you that when I compare the adiabatic curve with the isothermal curve, your curve both have a non-linear graph. Okay, but this graph, that is adiabatic curve, will be more steeper than the isothermal curve. Now the question arises out here is that how can you say that the slope is more curve is more steeper than isothermal curve? It's because of the value of this gamma. Because of the value of this gamma, because gamma value, as I said, is always greater than 1, and this value says that the slope of adiabatic curve is more than the slope of what? Isothermal curve. More slope means more steeper line, more steeper graph or curve as compared to isothermal curve. Okay, so this is the reason. And children, we can compare this adiabatic curve and isothermal curve, okay, under the expansion of gas and under the compression of what? Gas. Because gas as a system can be compressed, it can be expand. Okay, so expand means the volume increases, compress means the volume decreases. But you know, when volume increases, pressure decreases, and when volume decreases, pressure increases. That means they are vice versa. Okay, so to understand that, as you have learned, even that steeper adiabatic curve is always steeper than what? The slope of adiabatic curve is always steeper than what? Isothermal curve. Okay, so for that, if the gas expand, if there is an expansion of gas, means volume increases. And you know what happened? When you plot a graph between pressure and volume, when volume increases, pressure decreases. So the graph exactly goes in this manner. Means at a certain volume, the pressure is maximum. But once the volume start increasing, pressure start decreasing. But when the gas start expanding, then we always observe that adiabatic curve will be below the isothermal curve. Now this adiabatic curve below the isothermal curve means the slope of adiabatic curve is more steeper than isothermal curve. More steeper the slope, less steeper the isothermal slope. Adiabatic slope is more steeper than isothermal slope. That's why in case of expansion of gas, adiabatic curve will be below the isothermal curve because of more steeper the slope of adiabatic curve than isothermal curve. And the process will be opposite when we compress the gas. Yes, the gas can be compressed. So when there is a compression of gas, what happens? The volume decreases. When volume decreases, pressure increases. So under this case, under the compression of gas, when volume decreases from high value to low value, if you go this way, that's why these two arrows indicate that the volume is decreasing in this direction. The pressure increases, but under adiabatic curve, the pressure increases very rapidly, whereas isothermal curve pressure increases very slowly. That's why for compression of gas, adiabatic curve will be above the isothermal curve because more steeper the slope of adiabatic curve than isothermal curve. because adiabatic curve pressure increases more rapidly than volume decreases. So these are the two important graph which might ask in the examination. Okay, so please go through it. Okay, that's why the reason that the slope of steeper adiabatic curve is greater than the isothermal curve can be expressed under expansion of gas and compression of gas, so that we can simply see whether adiabatic curve will be below the isothermal curve or it is above the isothermal curve. So children, I have explained in detail about the adiabatic process. Now in the next YouTube video, we derive an important expression, that is the work done by ideal gas in isothermal expansion.